reporting for Katie Chats here in Toronto, Ontario, with former Métis leader turned radio host Tony Belcourt. What inspired you to become a radio host?
Well, after 40 years of being in politics, Aboriginal politics, and I retired and I needed something to do, I know something about the Métis people and I know something about Métis music, and I just wanted to make sure that I can start telling people more about our culture and using mainstream radio.
Great. And how have you found that job rewarding so far? How have you been seeing your influence on other people?
Well, it's too early to tell. I just got started. I've only done 5 shows now, and it's locally in Ottawa, but it's going to be picked up by Aboriginal Voices Radio. It's great because I get to talk about our music, and I get to talk about the nuances and the uniqueness of it, and I get to talk about our language and culture and the stories of our people, and not only to make it available to the general public, but a lot of our own people don't even know this information. It's not taught in school books. We are growing up in cities now more and more, so we're not near our elders who are teaching us these things. And so I'm having a lot of fun with this radio show.
What are some of the main features of Métis music? What really defines it as being part of the culture?
Well, central to our music now is the fiddle. And historically, the fiddle was brought to us by Scottish and French ancestors and Irish ancestors 200, 300 years ago. And back in the old days, there's some old Smithsonian recordings, for example, where there's this one fiddler playing this very common tune we call the Red River Jig. And you can hear the melody. It's not quite as fancy as it is today. But then there's this other sound in the background. You don't quite know what it is. And so I had a few of my friends together, and one guy said, you know what, that's another fiddle imitating the droning of the bagpipes, because they used to be accompanied by bagpipes. And our fiddlers now, when they're fiddling, you'll hear them tapping their feet to the beat, because that's to replace the drum, right? And the rhythms and so on are very unique to the Métis people. The scales are not the same, and a lot of people get thrown off by it, but we don't. We dance to it. The secret of good Métis music is being able to dance, making people want to dance. And they say you can drive a Métis person crazy if you tack his toes to the floor and you play the Red River Jig.
So traditionally, at what kind of events would you play the music where you would be having dancing festivities?
We play it all the time. It's at home, in lots of our communities, especially on the weekends. We have what we call kitchen parties. So a lot of people used to they go to church, right? Because we got the church in our backyard. And the priests used to call our music the devil's instrument. But it didn't matter. People go to church, and then they go to somebody's house. When I was a kid, we went to Auntie Flossie's. And after there was food, break out the fiddle, break out the guitars, and start fiddling and playing and dancing. And do that all afternoon, then head home. And it's really amazing, the commonality between our music, Cajun music, and Celtic music. When I was in France, at Bretagne, which is the province right on the far west of France, I got out of the car and started going towards the city center, and I hear this fiddle music. And I can hear their dancers on the stage. And I get there and I think, this is amazing. They must have some Métis fiddlers here and dancers. They weren't. It's them. They play it that way. And then when I was down in Louisiana, I went to this old dance hall I'd heard about that used to exist. It still does, but it's only used on Sunday. That's because traditionally the farmers, not farmers, the people that go out crab fishing and all that sort of stuff, they come in to church on Sunday, and then they go to this big dance hall called Tipitina's. And it's really great because you get in there and the men are all along one wall and the women are all along another wall, and you got the fiddlers and everybody else up on the stage, and they start playing, and some guy will get up and he'll go and ask a woman, and another woman will get up. It'll take 3 minutes before the floor is absolutely filled. And people are jamming, having a great time.
What are your goals for the radio station? Where do you hope to see it going in the future?
Well, it's streaming now, and I podcast and put it on my website, TonyBelcourt.com. And well, I hope it gets a wider audience. I'd like to see a greater interest than just Aboriginal radio being interested in this. I'd like to see mainstream radio get interested in it, because I think other people they love the music. And we have, our music is not just the traditional Métis music, but our musicians today are, they do country, they do rock, they do blues. We've got great artists, and I feature them too.
Great. So anyone within the Métis community who's creating music, you feature in your radio show?
Yeah. Wonderful. Yeah, I look for it all.
Great. So we will definitely check that out at TonyBelcourt.com. Right. And thank you so much for your time. This was really lovely.
Oh, this is cool. Thank you for asking.
Thank you. You're very welcome. I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for Katie Chats here in Toronto, Ontario.